Hi, you guys. Want to jump on and talk about stress? Let's talk about stress and stress eating. So, I hear so often that the reason that people are not losing weight is they contribute to when they're stressed, they reach for foods that they typically don't eat often, and they're overeating them, and then they feel bad about it, and then it leads to other choices that aren't the greatest. So it's this downward spiral, and this is really limiting people from meeting their goals. So let's talk about, I have 5 ways that we can manage stress eating today. So listen up. The first thing is we've heard it a million times, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you are not going to see progress, weight loss results, aesthetic goals, performance in the gym when your cup is empty, which means if you are chronically in a stress state, when your body is in a chronic sympathetic state, fight or flight, you are not going to be able to see the results you're looking for. So we have to make sure we have a super solid foundation before we're going to see these results. And that means making sure we're getting adequate nutrition during the day, managing our stress effectively, getting adequate sleep, and taking care of yourself before you're going to be able to pour and serve and see the results externally. So the thing is, stress is a part of life. It's going to be there, but how we're managing it can really be the game changer in seeing progress with your health goals or really impairing you from seeing the results that you're looking for. So eating does feel good. Eating so there's the central nervous system. When we're in a state of stress, there's the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. Eating actually activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest state of our body. So when our body needs food for survival, it needs nourishment, it needs nutrition. So it does feel good. It creates a relaxing sensation when we nourish and give our body nutrition, when we give our body food. So this is a normal sensation. And what's happening is the cue is the stress in our life. And then the routine is that we're grabbing for food, and the result that we're looking for, the reward that we're looking for is a sense of relaxation or calming or something that feels good. The problem is that we're giving the food too much power and control over the situation. So it's not the external thing that we're reaching for. It's actually how we're managing this cue that we're receiving and changing the routine that's going behind this. So 5 things we can do to address this. Number 1 is to identify other activities that you enjoy. So when I'm working with clients, I have them fill out a nutrition assessment and get a better idea of their history and things about them that I can learn. So one of the things I ask them is, what other things do you enjoy? What other things are you fulfilled by? This can be hard for people to identify that I've really gone outside of like filling them their own cup and constantly serving and giving and depleted. But some examples that people have identified are things like crafts or coloring or journaling or scrapbooking, knitting. So things that like maybe not necessarily, exercise can be helpful, but I want you to think of things like, in a state where you can just like sit and enjoy and stop. And those tend to be a thing we can do and replace with that routine that we're still getting that same reward of calming, enjoyment, fulfillment. So those are some ideas. Number 2 is changing the environment. So typically there's an association between the activity that you're doing and the food that you're consuming. So a lot of times it's like, okay, it's 8:00. This is when I sit down and watch TV. And then I typically reach for whatever, a bag of chips, or this is when I have ice cream, or this is when I'm kind of like mindlessly eating. So if we change the environment of the situation, that can change the routine. So maybe you go upstairs and read a book or take a bath or, change that environment that you're associating the behavior with. Number 3 is time of day. So notice when you are engaging in this behavior. Is it later on at night? Is it a certain time of day? So a lot of times it can be that you're not adequately nourishing and feeding your body during the day because you're in the constant state of like stress, adrenaline. So when you actually have that time at night that you're like stopping, your body's like, oh my goodness, I am so hungry right now. And you're just reaching for the quickest thing you can find. And typically it's going to be a more calorie dense food because your body's really needing that nutrition the fastest way. So just noticing the time of day can help you to identify the things that you can do preceding that during the day to give you a better result later in the day. And then the next thing is to ask for help. So if you are constantly like giving of yourself all day, feelings of being discouraged, being overwhelmed, these are all like normal feelings that we have as humans. But being stuck in our own heads is, you can be there for a minute, but we really have to allow ourselves to be able to get out of this. And the best thing you can do is to start to ask for help. So you are not supposed to be Superman, Superwoman at every single thing in your life. And that may mean, hiring someone to help with cleaning your house, or calling a babysitter to help with your kids so you can go out and do things you need to do for yourself. Or, maybe the babysitter is going to help with the kids, so you can just be in the kitchen and take care of some things that you need to do. So depending on your situation, this can look a lot of different ways, but just like asking for help. I know it can be the hardest thing because we feel like we need to do all the things. But if it's really limiting you from seeing progress in your health, I would encourage you to evaluate that. The last thing is to delegate responsibilities. So kind of building off of that. And you're likely doing way more than you necessarily need to be doing. And if it is all things you need to be doing, maybe getting like crystal clear on what your priorities are right now. So being very clear on what you value and what's a priority for you is going to help you to identify where you need to be spending your time and where you can start to delegate things. So, being more strict with your time and diligent with this can help you to evaluate what you need to prioritize during the day, so you can start seeing the results that you deserve, because you are working hard and there's no doubt about that, but just reevaluating some of these things to get the results that you're looking for. So let me know if this was helpful for you. If there is a friend that you know that could benefit from hearing about this, please share this and connect them with me. I'd love to connect with them. So let me know what you are doing to help you managing stress. Is stress eating something that you're dealing with, that you're struggling with, or what ways do you manage your stress? That's been really helpful to share. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Talk soon.